So section 2, the research participants, this is where now it starts getting all very detailed. So here, you actually need to specify how are you actually going to select and contact your participants. And none of you will be using advertisements. And in all your cases, it'll probably be direct contact, won't it? You couldn't just rely on a letter, either phone or personal contact. Okay. Then it's being quite precise here. How many participants do you intend to recruit? So this is about being quite precise about the size of your sample. And then you need to actually explain, well, why 10? Why 15? Why 3? And then inclusion and exclusion criteria. What do you imagine might be included under that?
That's like when inclusion is like if you want to have male and female perspectives or like teachers from different classrooms. Is that right?
Yeah.
I don't know what exclusion is.
Which way people you don't participate.
How do you choose like how do you say that?
Well, I suppose, yeah, this is a good point. I remember I've answered this question a lot, but I have to go look at some examples. Well, what we could do is if you click on the information button, see the information button next to it? And there's a website. Is it taking us there? Oh, that's not very good. It's taking us. Oh, that's hopeless. Do you see what's the point of that? It's crazy. God. Well, what we could do, we probably should, if we go back into the UTS online site, into the ethics applications, and if you scroll down below, you'll see there's a document called Rick Flowers and Elaine Swan Example Ethics Application. So I've pulled that up and I'm going to look for that question. Details, trivia and references, we've got that, methods and methodologies, okay, got all that, participant involvement, time.
Got it.
So, you got it?
Yep, so we right there, go back down. Down.
Page 10.
Here.
I can't see that question.
Describe.
Oh, here. Oh,
Oh no, that's
no.
not it.
You just said we will exclude no one
Where's it say that?
in this section. It's page 10.
You're on page 9, go down.
Oh.
There, here. We will exclude no one. Alright, I'll be writing that.
Could you just say like, I would exclude like if you want to strictly talk to like counsellors or something in a school, can you be like, I'll exclude classroom teachers? Or...
But like, isn't that part of your inclusion? Aren't you going to say I'm going to include?
No, because if she wants counsellors, she's not going to include a teacher.
No, but I mean, like, wouldn't you say I'm going to include counsellors? And then, like, why do you then have to go back and say I'm going to?
Because you have to specify
counsellor.
Yeah, it's
I
a
guess.
specification.
But I think that this inclusion and exclusion is not referring to the type of stakeholders you include. I think it is once you've decided on your stakeholder, once you've decided you're going to interview classroom teachers, are there any particular types of classroom teachers you are going to exclude?
Yeah.
So this is about the ethics committee wanting you to be upfront and say, look, I don't care what their race is, their ethnicity, their sexuality, all that sort of stuff. you know,
But if
I'm
you did,
open.
you could just
Yeah.
specify.
And it might be in some cases you might say, look, no, in this case I'm only going to be interviewing girls.
Yeah.
Okay. What is required from the recruited participants? So this is where you actually then have to tick what methodology and methods you're going to use. So I think in all your cases you're using qualitative. So, all right, so you're going to be doing a whole lot of, no, although you see survey is regarded as a quantitative study method.
Does that mean that when we talk about it in our thesis, we have to state it as quantitative, qualitative?
Well, it depends how you do it. If your surveys use open-ended questions, you could say that it veers, it's a cross between quantitative and qualitative. I mean, in your case, you're not really wanting to tabulate quantitative data. No.
I
Yeah.
expected my survey to be questions.
So for the purpose of this application, you'd say yes,
Yeah.
but in the actual thesis. To be quite honest, I don't know what the difference is between survey design and written survey. But in your case, it's written surveys. So in the qualitative methods, do they have interviews?
No. Yes.
Yes. So you're not doing biographical research, narrative inquiry, or any of those.
What's the difference between this box of goodness and that box of goodness? Yeah.
Which box?
See, they're two different ones.
Yeah, that's the quantitative. Oh no,
Quantitative.
it's not. Qualitative.
Looks like
Isn't it?
much.
Yeah, in fact, yeah, if you could see, if you get all nuance. So they've distinguished between methodologies and methods. Methodologies tend to be bigger. But no, it's just quantitative and qualitative, isn't it?
Because they have like 2 columns for both.
Oh, there's 2 columns.
Yeah, there's 2 columns. I don't know, maybe.
Methodology and then methods.
But like that, it doesn't really matter, right? If you have like a methodology one or a method one, we don't. I mean, it's just for the purpose of the application. We don't have
Yes.
to look too much into it.
In your case, you might be using case study, which is on the left-hand side of methodology. You probably will be doing document and policy analysis.
Is
Yeah.
document and policy analysis, is that also just like what we'll be looking at in our literature review? Or
No, literature review is slightly different because that's where you're reviewing scholarly literature. But where you're going to analyse, say, policy statements or, say, a curriculum document, that would be document analysis.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And then there's all these really detailed questions. You know, so it's actually asking you what time commitment. So this is actually saying, you know, you need to actually say, is it going to be 30 minutes, 45 minutes, or 60 minutes for your interviews? If it's a survey, is it going to take them 15 minutes or 30 minutes or whatever?
And are we just kind of filling these out on, like, ideally what we would like to happen? Because obviously a lot can change next year when we start actually doing our, like, I mean, I don't imagine by the time I submit this that I will have done, like, survey questions or anything. So are we just kind of approximating what we think will happen, or are we supposed to have constructed our everything already.
Yeah, this is so we got till you got till the end of the year for this.
But sort of like,
No,
we don't have
we
to
don't.
have like our surveys
End of
all
October.
done. Like we can do
Yeah.
like drafts of it, a draft of a survey.
We
Yeah.
don't have to
And
hand in
have
a
a
survey
basic
with this, do we?
No.
Oh, you need to have the survey questions there. Yeah.
Great.
So we need, with our ethics application, we need our survey questions attached.
Yeah.
I've got a lot of work to do.
Your surveys aren't going to be that big.
Or like if you.
I'm not doing a survey.
Oh, there you go.
Can you like? Do you
Huh?
have to have your interview questions attached if you're doing
Yeah.
Yep.
interviews?
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, dear God.
But in all your cases,
Why
your
not?
interviews aren't. You're not going to have that many questions. They're going to be quite big questions.
That's
But yes, it is rather annoying. It is very detailed. And so when you talk about detail, you know, you actually have to say, where is the interview going to take place? Is it going to be in a classroom, in an office?
We don't know until we find out people because they might be like,
Yeah, so we
That's
could be
why-
it wrong.
Well,
Like, for
no. This is what we're going to be doing this semester. Is we're going to be
the girl.
you're going to be planning exactly who you're going to interview, how many you're going to interview, and where you're going to interview.
Yeah, but
The
okay.
girl, but you know the girl who did the mental health focus this year, like she's in her 4th year this year.
Yep.
She was saying like, obviously in her ethics application she put that she wanted to interview parents, but
Yes.
she hasn't made contact with any parents yet. So she's going to
Yeah,
have to
that's
change what her methodology is slightly to accommodate for that if she can't find enough parents. It's
That's
okay
fine.
if that has
That's
to
fine.
happen.
Exactly.
a few of them were like that. They kind of said, oh,
Yeah.
like I wanted to do this, but it just
But
hasn't
it
really
changed.
happened.
Exactly.
You don't have to like fill out another ethics application, do you? If it's changing.
No, if it's just a matter of, you know, you haven't achieved your sample or you've interviewed a few more people than you planned, that's cool. But if for example, you know, you did said, look, I'm going to run a focus group, and that wasn't included in your ethics application, then there would be need to apply for a variation, which is all very doable.
Because that's what she said she would do. She said that she would think about doing a focus group because
Yep.
parents might be more interested in doing
Yep.
that. So if you're going to change it that much away from interviews to a focus group, you have to apply.
For a variation. Look, applying's not a big deal because it's internal.
Okay.
But yes. No. The idea is to actually try and get a lot of this information, make a lot of these decisions about the details of your empirical research this year. Okay, then we get to section 5.